What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is John. Today I have for you a big box good. That's right, today we're going to be taking a look at the 25-inch upright by SwissTech. This model is the Excursion. I picked up at Walmart for $75. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and a first impressions. We're going to take a look at the inside of this suitcase. We're going to take a look at some of the features it offers. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I like about it, what caught my attention about it, as well as some of the things that I dislike about it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this unboxing and first impressions. We're going to see how much stuff we can fit into this suitcase. And last but not least, just as a preface to this unboxing and first impressions, anything that has the name Swiss or bears the Swiss moniker has got to be good, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and see if this suitcase lives up to its name and get into this unboxing and first impressions. Okay, so here in front of us is the SwissTech Excursion 25-inch upright. I picked up at Walmart for $75 after tax. It came out to about $80. Now, the unboxing and first impressions is going to be pretty interesting here because usually we take a look at the outside of the package first and then get to the inside. But as you can see, the outside of the package is already the package itself. So you do get some information regarding the features of this suitcase on the front. As you can tell, it does come with a 15-year warranty, and it does only weigh 9 pounds. So it's extremely lightweight, and I think you can pretty much tell this is a pretty flexible, sort of lightweight plastic. I think what will catch your attention is it kind of has this metal sheen to it, but it's actually plastic, and I think it gives off this sheen because it has this sort of brushed look, and we'll get into why I think that's an important look in the next segment. But let's continue on with the unboxing aspect here. You do get a multi-level handle with ergonomic grip, so you can probably adjust this maybe 2 or 3 different heights, and you can also have it fully recessed. We'll take a look at that as well. We'll judge the quality of it. We'll spin this around a little bit. You can also see that it has a heavy-duty main compartment with zippers. That is actually referring to this top shell, which is adjustable 2 inches. So if you are overpacking this or are going on an extended trip, you can raise the height or the depth actually of this suitcase 2 inches, which is really awesome. So it has a 25-inch height, and you can raise it or make it 2 inches deeper. What's also really cool is you do get an integrated TSA lock. Now, what's interesting about the integrated TSA lock is it does have a key hole on the front. There's also a combination lock. So my assumption is if TSA needs to get inside this suitcase, they should already have the key to do so. I am also assuming a key will come with the suitcase once we get it unboxed, but if you are a TSA agent, you should have this key and you should be able to have access to this suitcase, and then the owner should have the passcode lock. So we'll take a look at that and we'll see if my assumptions about that are correct. Again, you get the 2-inch expansion. You get 8 oversized wheels. That's right. If you actually look at the bottom of the suitcase, it's 4 axles with 2 wheels attached to each axle for a total of 8 wheels. There are 4 axles. As you can see, the wheels themselves have these really cool little rims actually, and they are rubber, not plastic. So this suitcase really does roll smoothly and across a variety of surfaces without making a whole lot of noise. And then last but not least, you do get an overlook as to what you get inside. Now, you do get a removable watertight pouch, sort of like a Ziploc bag, but this one I assume will be much better quality and reusable, but it should zip, which is nice. And most importantly, what I want to point out here is the dimensions of the suitcase at the very bottom. So you do get 2 different dimensions. You get a 27-inch height, including the wheels. So what's actually really good to see about this is they're not lying to you when they say 25 inches. The entire packable space is 25 inches, so it's not including the wheels. Including the wheels, it's 27 inches. So you can pretty much see for yourself the diameter and the width are exactly the same, just the height is different between wheels included and not included. So just something to keep in mind when you see this in store. And last but not least, and probably most apropos according to this title, is the logo on the front. It is a SwissTech product. Now, I don't know where SwissTech ranks in the world of Swiss brands, like Swiss Army, for example. I know there are probably numerous other brands out there bearing the Swiss moniker. Yeah, you get just a Swiss logo on the front. It's red with silver. It's plastic. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this unboxing and first impressions and get more into detail about some of the features here that we briefly just discussed. I think one thing you can actually tell that's pretty nice about this suitcase is the zipper pulls run pretty smoothly. I had no problem zipping this and unzipping this in the store the other day. My biggest concern actually is how we're going to get this off without tearing it off. Let's go ahead and see if we can do just exactly that. We're not ready to reveal the inside. We're just seeing if we can get this paper piece off without tearing it, because I think, as you can see, it's kind of like left over in the lining of the suitcase, which is actually a little bit of a disappointment, but I digress. Let's go ahead and get into this review. Okay, so I think the first thing I addressed at the beginning of the video was the fit and finish of this suitcase. It is plastic. It does have this brushed aluminum stainless steel look. It kind of has a metal sheen to it, which I think is emphasized by these chrome plastic polish pieces at the upper right and left hand corners. This does weigh 9 pounds empty, so it is lightweight thanks to the fact it is a lightweight flexible plastic. But most importantly here, because this is not leather, it's not steel, it's not a fabric canvas material, it will not scratch and it will not have nicks or pulls or tears that are noticeable anywhere, because it's just plastic and it has this brushed look. It's actually sort of camouflaged to look like a brushed stainless steel, but the good part about that is it does not scratch. Now, where you will probably notice scratches are at the bottom left and right hand corner where the wheels are located. They are surrounded by plastic. The feet are plastic. Like I was saying, the rubber wheels themselves are plastic, but I think over time, bumping this into the corners of desks and being loaded and unloaded off of planes, not really a big deal. No one will be able to tell how much damage this suitcase has taken on. In addition to fit and finish, I quickly want to talk about some of the features here. You do get a grab handle at the side of the suitcase if you need to carry it that way. What I dislike about this grab handle is, again, I see plastic chrome pieces here and an all plastic handle. It's here and it does offer that feature, but one way I can tell you it's pretty generic is because it doesn't have a logo on it. So now that we're taking a look at the back of the suitcase, you don't get any branding here as well, which is also good to see, because I don't think Swiss branded products are overly ostentatious. Look at companies like Rolex, for example, who are Swiss made. It has just only the features you need, right? And a couple that will actually keep this looking nice in the long run, like the brushed finish look. And like I said, you can stand it up on its 4 nubs confidently. What's awesome about having this plastic rectangular construction is you already know what you can pack before you pack. It's not like a duffel bag that can expand and contract with the things you put in and take out. You're taking this, it's going to be 25 inches height, 27 inches in height once you stand it up on the wheels, and you get 2 inches of expandable space. So there you have it. If you're traveling somewhere and you think you're going to be coming back with items, pack it so that you only need the regular size, and then once you leave your vacation, you have the 2 inches to expand. So really cool that you can sort of plan your trip out around the suitcase. This doesn't change throughout the entire trip. You can pack pack it how you know you're going to pack it based on the dimensions of it. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the inside of the suitcase. And as you can see, you do get 8 wheels, not just 4, but 4 axles and 2 wheels on each axle for a total of 8. You can see the rubber wheels don't make any noise on this plastic plyboard table. It's very quiet. The wheels are nice and rubber. They slide easily, they rotate easily or spin easily. And last but not least, because there are 8 wheels, you don't really have to worry about this thing tipping over. And momentarily here, before we get into the inside of the suitcase, this bottom zipper with the logo on it is actually the expansion zipper. So all you have to do is unzip the bottom of it here. Of course, it's easier if you have the top compartment already secured down, but as you can see, we're able to add 2 inches of additional depth. Okay, so now it's time for the first impressions. The first segment of the video, or the first half of the video, is the unboxing aspect of it. Now that we have the suitcase open, we can see what features we get, and we can see just how truly organized this suitcase is. It will look the same as you buy it, as you have everything packed in it. So what's really cool, what I love about this suitcase is it does sort of give some credit to the original travel suitcase, the Louis Vuitton. And as you can see, you do get a Swiss print, even though Louis Vuitton is French. You get just basically a bit of an homage to Louis Vuitton because of the pattern arranged on the inside. It is the SwissTech logo. Now, not sure how similar the Swiss logo of SwissTech is to other Swiss brands like Swiss Army, but I think for the most part you can tell this is a Swiss product, right? And you can tell because you get logos on the zippers on the inside. Now, what's really nice is, as you can see, you get a bottom compartment here. So like I was talking earlier, this suitcase is all about structural integrity. It's about keeping its form throughout the entire duration of the trip. That will make it easier to organize and pack and transport. It will just take less stress off your mind. But most importantly here, I think it follows on that initial idea because you can actually use this compartment here as a foundation. If you want to fold clothes or shorts, jeans, you could put anything in here. A couple of picture frames if you wanted, a beach towel, and it would all be good enough as a foundation for things to organize in these pockets, like a pair of shoes or maybe undergarments like socks and underwear, bras, other types of items. You could also store things in this pouch here, which I really like. Again, all of which won't be sort of hanging freely. Say if you're packing a pair of shoes, things that sort of add dead and loose weight, because you'll have a nice foundation here. So what's awesome is not only do you get that part of it, but you get the main compartment here, which is pretty deep. It actually has a nice strap, so nothing from this compartment is falling into this compartment. As you know, whenever you land, the flight attendant always announces, please be careful removing items from the overhead compartment because items may have shifted during flight. I think that absolutely positively applies here. What's really nice about having this strap is things will not shift around inside the suitcase and become disorganized. When you get to your hotel room, you want peace of mind and you want to be able to change your clothes right away after you've been traveling all day. Nothing is worse than having to sift through clothes that have just sort of flown around because they're not secure. What's really nice is this strap comes unbuckled, so you don't even have to use it if you don't want. And most importantly in the box, you do get the SwissTech toiletry bag. Okay, so now that we've done the unboxing and first impressions, I've talked to you about what I like about this suitcase, what I dislike about it, what some of my concerns are about it. We've talked about some of the features that it has. I've gone over briefly what you can expect to find on the inside of the suitcase. One thing we did not find was a key for the TSA lock on the top of the suitcase where the combination lock is, leading me to believe TSA already has that key. If they need to inspect this suitcase for any reason, they will use the key to open it up, but nobody else should have the key. Only you know the combination. So it does still offer security. But now let's go ahead and see what exactly we can fit in this suitcase. Instead of demonstrating with clothing, I will be demonstrating with a couple of picture frames that I have, because like I said, if you are bringing home art from another country, you want to keep them protected. So we're going to go over how exactly I would store something like that. But most importantly, just to preface this segment, I will be using just folded up towels and blankets in place of clothing. I did not want to empty my drawers and have to restock them. So let's go ahead and start with the pouch, which I did stock with actual toiletries. And it will demonstrate how important having this toiletry bag is. Now, before we get into the items inside the toiletry bag here, because they all do play an important role as to how important this bag is, I quickly want to emphasize this is not 100% watertight or waterproof. There is just a little bit of open space at the end of the zipper track here where water could get in. But I would say 90–95% of the time, if you've got a leak on the inside of the bag or a leak coming from the outside of the suitcase, things in here should stay protected or protect things from leaking out of it. Okay, so electric shaver. This is not something you can carry on, but if you're storing the bag underneath the plane, I think this is fine. You might want to remove the blade and put it elsewhere if you think it's going to be a problem. But as you can see, it is a sharp electric blade. Maybe you're packing a disposable razor, I don't know. But as you can see, what's really nice about this plastic bag is it doesn't allow the razor to poke through it. So you don't have to worry about your razor poking through the bag and maybe scuffing up or tearing up your clothing if you have like a sweater or something or a nice suit. You can also pack your toothbrush in here. Now, I don't recommend, packing your toothbrush without a toothbrush cap. I think that's unsanitary. You can pack deodorant, obviously. It's big enough for these items already. It's big enough for toothpaste. It is large enough for a brush. As you can see, this is a pretty decent sized brush. So far, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items in this toiletry bag. You can store some baby powder. Now, what I really like about this plastic bag is if this baby powder gets left open, you don't have to worry about the powder going all over the place and onto your clothing or your piece of art that you brought back. And last but not least, some eyedroppers. Maybe you've got some red eye, maybe you're tired. If this leaks, because this is a plastic bag, it will not leak out onto any of the items you have in the suitcase. And like I was saying, if you have a leak from outside the suitcase, if you have soluble items in the toiletry bag, like the baby powder or toothpaste or maybe shampoo, maybe you've got any type of powder like for cosmetics, it shouldn't mix with the water. It should also be water resistant because it's in this toiletry bag. So let's go ahead and repack this toiletry bag, and then let's get the folded up blankets and some of our art in here. I also have a pair of shoes that I'm going to use to stuff these pockets with. We'll see how heavy it is, how easy everything is to transport around, but most importantly, we will see, or we will test the limits of the capacity of this suitcase. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay guys, so the good news here is I stuffed it pretty well. I didn't overly stuff this suitcase, but I think I stuffed it pretty good. As you can see, I still have plenty of room here. I don't even think I need the 2 inches of extra width. In fact, if you're not using the 2 inches of extra width, I do recommend zippering it off so that this suitcase maintains a much more composed look. As you saw before, zipped up, it was actually a little bit looser looking. It was more accordion-like. I was able to push down on the top of the suitcase and get it to scrunch down a little bit more. And I can still do that, but as you can see, it's nice and tight, and I think it's fully packed here. Just keep in mind, you could actually add more items in what you'll see before we open this, because like I did just show you, we are using it without the 2-inch extension. So let's go ahead and see what I got in this suitcase here. Careful not to confuse the main zipper. Let's go ahead and unzip things here. And by the way, there is a difference between the extension zipper and the main compartment zipper. But one thing that's really awesome is, as you can see, because everything is so well organized, nothing is falling out or falling apart. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I think these are great compartments for shoes. These shoes are actually a little bit on the thicker side. As you can see, if you were packing flip-flops, it would be much easier, or maybe a heel. But these are pretty thick. They have a thick sole. They are brand new. And they fit in there just fine. I don't have to worry about these pockets ripping or tearing. They do feel pretty tight and pretty well made. On the right hand side of the suitcase here, you can see we've actually got a pillow. It's a pretty thick pillow. I did review these in a separate video. They keep their composure fairly well. You can squish them down, which is probably how we were able to get all of this in here and be able to close off the 2-inch extension. We've got another towel here sort of folded up. We do have our toiletry bag full of goodies. Now what's awesome about this toiletry bag is it does have buttons to detach the toiletry bag. So if you wanted to do it that way, you could. I do recommend buttoning the toiletry bag back up without items in it, but as you can see, it's really easy to manage and do. We've got a second folded up towel scrunched down into the side here that the toiletry bag is laying down on top of. As you can see, everything is very nicely organized here. Even with all of this in it, including the shoes, we do not have to use the 2-inch extension, and everything is extremely well organized here. Like I was saying earlier, you actually get a nice foundation underneath, which will actually keep these shoes from becoming loose or dead weight. What's also really nice is if you want to pack things inside these zippers here, you have the added foundation from the items underneath. You can add things in these compartments here, and you don't have to put shoes here. I think you know that. But last but not least, I think you'll see via this demonstration how nicely the zipper pulls work. But like I was saying earlier, you can use the left-hand side of the suitcase as a foundation for the items on this flap that may be loose or dead weight. As you can see, you could put some nice art and actually protect it from bumps and scratches, and maybe even water. Could actually be somewhat water repellent in a way. Yeah, like I was saying, you get a really nice foundation on the left-hand side of the suitcase that supports all the items on this flap here, which again, I think drive in the point that this is an extremely exceptional and well organized and easy suitcase to travel with. Okay, let's go ahead and stand this up and walk around with it and just see what it's like completely full. All right, what's going on, guys? So I am about to depart. I am leaving for, I don't know, Paris. We're going to the United Kingdom. Wherever we want to go, I think this suitcase will take you there, and it will do so in an organized and fashionable way and at a cost-effective price. Let's go ahead and test out the pole handle here. So you can adjust it a couple of different heights. It doesn't go any higher than 2 adjustments. It does lock into place. It does give feedback. You can see that it's pretty sturdy, both at the tallest height, and then once you get it all the way flush, you could actually use the handles on top you do get a combination lock on the front, and like I said, it does have a TSA lock, which I do believe TSA has if they need to access this suitcase. No one else has this lock. This suitcase does not include the TSA enabled lock, so no one can get into this suitcase unless it is the TSA. And as you can see on the side of the suitcase here, if we wanted to pick it up and sort of carry it like a tote, we can. Now, what's really nice about this plastic material is, like I was saying earlier, it is lightweight, it is structurally rigid, it does give it an organized appearance, making it easier to transport. But most importantly, what I want to just quickly highlight here is because it is pretty much packed with lightweight items like towels and blankets, I don't think it's going to be as accurate as pairs of jeans and maybe sweaters and coats, things that are a little bit thicker and heavier to transport than just blankets and pillows. So I think I got the dimensions right, but I'm a little bit off on the weight. Nonetheless, you can see it's a little bit hard to maneuver around on the carpet here. I'm having to fight with it a little bit, which is why I would probably drag something like this over a carpet. But as you can see, what's nice is you can use this a variety of ways. And then once you get to a nice, smooth, even surface like tile or concrete, as you can see, it swivels around so nice. You can almost dance with it in a way. It is very easy to point in the direction you want it in. So if you're standing in line and someone's trying to run past you to get their connecting flight, or maybe they're late and about to miss it, you could quickly tuck yourself in off to the side and let that person run by you. Really cool suitcase. As you can see, we are not using the 2-inch extension. It's pretty much nicely sandwiched down. Again, another reason why, if you're not using the 2-inch extension, you should close it, because imagine having the 2-inch extension activated right now. This whole front piece is going to be loose and floppy and not easy to transport and take with you places. With that being said, absolutely stunning little suitcase. For 75 bucks, I don't think you can go wrong here. I think it's built out of nice material. You do get that premium Swiss look. It's a nice plastic finish. What I really do love about this brush look is it is all over the suitcase. It's at every corner. The only issue you're going to notice is when this plastic scraps or scratches here, but otherwise everything else should remain pretty scratch resistant and look modern and simple and minimalist and clean over the next couple of years at least. Anyways, guys, that has been an unboxing and first impressions of the SwissTech Excursion 25-inch upright suitcase. I picked up at Walmart for $75. Because I picked it up at Walmart, that does make it a big box good. I really hope you enjoyed that unboxing and first impressions and were able to see the capabilities of this suitcase. I think for $75, it's a phenomenal value. What I really appreciate is this lightweight, flexible plastic that has this brushed look. It should be resistant to scratches. The only concern I have with this is that maybe one day it will crack or concave. What's also really nice about this suitcase is it's highly secure. As we saw, you do not get a TSA key with this suitcase. The only way to unlock this suitcase is with a combination or the TSA key. Like I said, because you don't get the TSA key with the suitcase, only TSA has it. So you and TSA are the only people that can get into this suitcase. Last but not least, it is this nice brushed plastic, because that will keep it from looking scuffed up and damaged maybe 2 or 3 years from now, unlike a Samsonite, which is sort of a nylon canvas material that scratches. It's not leather, it doesn't scratch, and last but not least, it's not aluminum, so it shouldn't dent or ding. And one more feature that I really like about this suitcase is the 2-inch extension, and because it is the plastic shell, it is organized. But if you need to extend it 2 inches, you can do that. As you saw, we put quite a bit of items in here. We put shoes in here. We put a full round of toiletries if you're a male. We also put the equivalent of a few pair of jeans, a stack of t-shirts, as well as several other items like artwork, just to demonstrate exactly what you can get in this bag. The point I made earlier about the 2-inch extension, and because this is so organized and easy to pack and transport, you can really plan out your trip based around the suitcase. You could pack it lightly without using the 2-inch extension, and then if you assume you'll be bringing things back, which most likely you will, you can count on having that 2-inch extension and being able to get everything home. So I think this is an awesome suitcase for $75. It does leave a little bit left to be desired. There isn't a logo in some of the places. I think there should be a logo, but then again, I think this is a great suitcase nonetheless for $75 and will absolutely positively make traveling easier for you. Anyways, guys, with that being said, I am closing this video out. I hope to see you in the next one. Because I picked this up at Walmart, that is a big box good. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Also hit the bell icon to get notified when I post to YouTube. Share this video with friends and family. Tell them we review items from retail stores and online retail stores. My name is John. Thanks again so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next one.